Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Everett, Provost of Adelphi University, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 50th episode of Live from the Adelphi PAC Living Room. Through this weekly show, the Adelphi PAC has welcomed over 100 guests who are all Adelphi alumni, faculty, staff, students, or guest performers from the worlds of dance, music, and theater. While unable to welcome audiences to the PAC, we came to you in many ways. Through this show alone, the PAC brought over 40 hours of entertainment directly to you that has been viewed on YouTube alone over 7,500 times. This is all in addition to the fantastic performances, both live and recorded, that have been coming to you week after week through the PAC's regular programming of full performances. On behalf of the entire university, I'd like to congratulate everyone involved for all of this great programming as the PAC Living Room show celebrates their 50th episode. And now, please welcome the host of the show and the executive director of the Adelphi University Performing Arts Center, Blythe DeLong. Take it away, Blythe.
Thank you so much, Provost Everett. Yes, that is right, everyone. It is our 50th episode. Now, while we aren't quite able to have audiences in person, we continue to use this show to bring Adelphi's talented students, faculty, alumni, staff, and other guests to you each week. Now, I've been trying to figure out what to do for our 50th episode. Now, a couple weeks ago, you might remember it was our 1-year anniversary where we brought back everyone from our first episode to check in with them 1 year later. And this week, we have a lot of events coming up that we need to promote. So bringing on some kind of extra guest or anything like that didn't make sense either. So I decided to do this. That's right. We have now officially moved the show out of my apartment and into the actual Performing Arts Center. I can't tell you how happy I am to have my apartment back, to be somewhere different, to do this. It is long overdue. I've almost done this a million times, and I'm glad I waited to have something to do for this week. So with that, we have another great lineup of guests this week. As I mentioned, we have a lot of events coming up this week at the Performing Arts Center. So our guests on this show are here to help me explain the great shows that are coming up. We have Professor Erin Heisel, who will be giving us a preview of the Chamber Ensemble recital, the Department of Theater student Carson Ferguson with a preview of that department's upcoming production of Talking With, and Professor Karen Baer with a preview of the upcoming recital from the Adelphi Chorale and Vocal Ensemble. But first, yesterday was our final Live from Adelphi concert, and this one featured tons of hit songs from multiple decades. It was called Rockin' Radio. The cast was a bunch of great Broadway and cabaret singers, and they featured the music of Neil Diamond, Aretha Franklin, Elton John, Sarah Bareilles, Kenny Rogers, Sam Cooke, and many, many more. Now, the concert is still available to watch as a video on demand through Wednesday, May 5th. So here is a performance from yesterday's concert to give you a little taste of the show. Enjoy.
Go behind the piano, both of us, and Brian and Natalie are going to join us for this next song. And you're invited to sing along at home. And this was one of Elton John's first really big hits. It came out in 1972. And some of the critics said, that sounds just like every other rock song from the 50s, 20 years ago. And Elton John said, I know. That's the point. It's an homage. So it's such an homage that you're going to be able to sing along whether you know the song or not, but you're going to know it. And the words you need to know are la. All right? You're going to sing at home. We're going to sing back here. And to do the lead, please welcome the star of Broadway's Kinky Boots, the star of the Cher Show. He's currently touring the country where he covers the roles of both Hamilton and Burr in the smash hit musical Hamilton. Please welcome Blaine Krause.
I remember when rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun, holding hands and skimming stones. Had an old gold Chevy and a place of my own. But the biggest kick we ever got was doing a thing called the Crocodile Rock, while the other kids were rocking round the clock. We were hopping and bopping to the Crocodile Rock. Well, Crocodile rocking is something shocking when your feet just can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. Oh, Lord and Mama, this Friday night, Susie wore her dresses tight. Crocodile rocking was outside. La, 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 la. Well, the years went by and a rock just died. Susie went and left me for some foreign guy. Long nights crying by my record machine, dreaming about my Chevy and my old blue jeans, but they'll never kill the thrills we got. Burning up to the Crocodile Rock, holding fast as the weeks went past. Hey, we nearly thought the Crocodile Rock would last. Well, Crocodile rocking is something to shocking when your feet just can't keep still. Hey, I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. Oh, Lord and Mama, it's Friday night, Susie wore her dresses tight. Crocodile rocking was outside. Hey. Come on, sing back up. Fun, holding hands and skimming stones. Had an old gold Chevy and a place of my own, but the biggest thrill we ever got, doing our thing called the Crocodile Rock, while the other kids were rocking round the clock. Hey, we were bopping and rocking to the Crocodile Rock. Crocodile rocking is something shocking when your feet just can't keep still. I never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. Oh, Lord and Mama, this Friday night, Susie wore her dresses tight. Crocodile rocking was high out of sight. La, 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 la. Sing it, sing it. La, 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 la.
Thank you to the fantastic Blaine Krause and the entire cast of the show, Rockin' Radio. As I mentioned, access is still available on the PAC website through Wednesday, so you do not want to miss this excellent concert. It is an hour and 15 minutes of basically that. There is everything you need to know. If you enjoyed that, you will enjoy the show. And if you didn't enjoy that, then I don't know what you're even doing here. So check that out. As I mentioned, this week we have a lot of student performances headed your way. The first one we're going to talk about is taking place on Friday, and this is a combined showcase of our chamber ensemble, guitar ensemble, and concert band. To tell us more about the chamber ensemble portion of this is the director of the chamber ensemble. Please welcome Erin Heisel. Hello, Erin.
Hello. How lovely to be here.
I am so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And, you know, I feel like we just saw you a few weeks ago. You have been one of our regulars throughout this whole time. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that and sticking with us throughout multiple times throughout the past year. So
that's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. And I thank you so much. So now you have a great program coming up. It is near the end of the semester for us. It's so close you can almost taste it, which means we have a lot of our ensembles and great groups that are having sort of their end of the semester recitals. So one of those is the chamber ensemble, which along with the guitar ensemble and the concert band will premiere their recorded concert on Friday, May 7th at 8 p.m. So tell us a little bit about what you have done with the chamber ensemble for this production.
Thanks for asking. I really want to thank the students. They've done such incredible work under such challenging circumstances. And I also really want to thank Dr. Dennis Sullivan and Erin Rogers for all of their tech support and assistance. They've really created a really beautiful representation of the students' work. The students, of course, also creating that representation through their own work.
Sure, yes.
So I want to just say those things right now, because without the students, especially, getting all of this music learned and presented in such a nice way in these circumstances, definitely want to acknowledge that. We have a really interesting program planned for Friday night. It's I'll tell you a little bit about the different composers that we're highlighting and also what is special about this Friday's performance of the chamber ensemble. So we're going to be performing a piece by Florence Price. She was an American composer. She was the first African-American composer to have a piece played by a major orchestra. And we're doing a really lovely arrangement of a piece of hers for flute and piano. We're also performing a piece by Davi Rocha, who's a Brazilian composer and teacher. We're doing two pieces by Ignatius Sancho, who was a classical era composer, also a writer, and was the first Black Briton to have voting rights in the UK. So this is very interesting, and you'll have a chance to hear a little bit more about all of these composers' lives and stories in the program notes that the students have recorded. We're doing a piece by Baroque singer-songwriter. I like to call her a singer-songwriter, Francesca Caccini, because she did write songs that she played and sang herself, so we can kind of think about our favorite singer-songwriters. I like to think about like Tori Amos or Sarah Bareilles, having this tradition going all the way back to Francesca Caccini. We're doing a piece by French Romantic composer Louise Farrenc, and we're doing three special segments. We have a piece by Adelphi student Kevin Lubin, which is a setting of a poem by another Adelphi student, Isabella Franco. And we'll have a brief interview to start the concert with Isabella and Kevin, talking about their process working together. And Isabella will do a reading of her poem for us all. In the middle of the concert, we have two pieces by composer Dr. Amy Dunker of Clark University, and we'll have her come on to speak a little bit about her pieces. She also came to class and did a workshop for us on her music and on being a composer, which was really such a wonderful way for us to turn adversity of the situation to advantage, because she's out in Iowa at Clark University, but she was able to join us in class in real time to coach her music. And then finally, to close out the concert, we have a piece by our very own Dr. Sydney Bokiran, chair of our music department, that was written specifically, not just specifically for this ensemble and these students, but also specifically for the Zoom platform. So a piece of music specific for this situation that we're in and some of the experiences that we're all having as we go through this. So he's going to join us at the end of the concert as well to speak about the collaboration with the students and his creative process in working on the piece. So it's a really special concert to have these three different composers and poet who can join us to talk about collaborative and creative processes that are taking place even in spite of the situation.
Yeah, I think that has been one of the great things that a lot of folks have taken advantage of is the ability to connect with people that you wouldn't normally be able to connect with, just through timing or travel or funds or all the different things, and that now it's as simple as just hopping on your computer at the same time, and it's really great to do that. I mean, I think Karen has done the same thing with the chorale, so that's really great. That's fantastic. And that's going to be a really fun show. And I think it's great that we're also showcasing the work of our student composers as well as our faculty composers. And that's always nice to see such an Adelphi representation in the concert. So again, I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again now. It is all part of the music showcase that is happening this Friday, May 7th at 8 p.m. We are calling it Music Showcase Part 1 because a week later we are having Part 2, which is the improvisation ensemble and the jazz ensemble are combining into a recital together. So, but this one is on Friday, May 7th, 8 p.m. It is, as all of our student productions have been all year long, it is free, but you do need to register in advance for access to the concert on our website, pac.adelphi.edu. And as usual, while you are there, check out all the other great things that are coming up here in the next few weeks. There's a lot of stuff happening. So this is one piece of that. Thank you so much for taking the time again to do this, Erin. Anything else you want to add?
I just hope everyone who's watching tonight can join us on Friday, because I know that the guitar ensemble and the concert band have also worked really hard this semester. And then again on Saturday for the vocal ensemble and the chorale. And next week, our students have just managed to do such incredible things, even in spite of the situation. And I think there's going to be a lot of joy on the internet landscape in our own little concert halls that we can share.
There's a lot of great things coming up just in a very short amount of time. So I hope everyone takes advantage of that and really checks out as much of it as possible. So thank you again so much, Erin. I'll see you soon.
Thanks so much. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you. And again, so also this week, the Department of Theater is presenting the play Talking With by Jane Martin. Now, they are deep in tech rehearsal. This is going to be happening live in our Black Box Theater. They are in the midst of tech right now, literally as we speak. So I pre-recorded a conversation with one of the directors, and we also filmed a segment of the show to give you a preview of what you're going to see later this week from the Department of Theater. So here is my conversation with Carson Ferguson. So I am here with Carson Ferguson, who is a student in the Department of Theater and is one of the co-directors of the upcoming production of Talking With, written by Jane Martin. Now, this show is a series of monologues. I believe there's 8 of them that we are doing. And so the directing responsibilities as a way to give some different voices and different people opportunities, but also to deal with the realities of COVID and not having too many people working together at the same time. So you are directing some of the pieces. Nick Petron is directing some of the pieces, and Anton Mondesir is back directing some of them as well. So tell us a little bit about the show and what it is and the pieces that you're doing as part of this production.
Yeah, like you said, the pieces are all monologues written for women. A lot of them range in the older age too, so it's very reflective on life and death and a lot of the scenes that we do. Each one deals with different aspects of femininity in different ways. We have ones about motherhood, we have about being a child yourself, we have things about just reflecting on your own life. They're all very powerful. I'm directing Dragons and Marks, which are incredible pieces. I think they're all so well done and so well directed. I can't wait for everyone to see them.
It's great. And they're, so it's kind of a wide range of emotions, as you said, in this piece. Some of them are humorous. Some of them are very serious. There's some tough topics that come up and get discussed and depicted in some of them. So I think it's a real nice way to kind of show off a range of people, give a lot of folks opportunities, but also then, more than just a series of monologues, they are all sort of around a central theme and do connect to one another in certain ways. So, So now I know we're taping this on Saturday. You guys are just starting your tech rehearsals. We're doing this show live in the Black Box Theater that has kind of been built as a sort of a soundstage, really, because there's not an audience. So each of these little scenes has sort of its own little section of the black box, and the camera is going to move around between them. So how has that been so far? I know you're just getting started, but
even just from this morning and this afternoon, seeing everything moving and working its way around, working out the camera angles. There are so many moving parts to this. We're set up almost in a circle around the black box, with cameras in the middle for some of the pieces. But some of the pieces entirely move off of stage, especially for the last one that requires most of the black box space.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to another creative way to make the best of the situation that we're in and do something a little different than we'd be able to regularly. So now, as I mentioned, you are a student in the Department of Theater. I believe you're a senior, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So how has this experience been for you as a student, directing your fellow students and being a part of the team in that way on this show?
It's been incredible. About a year ago, I really decided I wanted to go into the directing field. So actually getting the opportunity and starting as the assistant director on the show, and then taking on so much responsibility that we changed my title to director with everyone else. It's just been such a rewarding and incredible experience. I love the actors I'm working with so much. Every single one, even the ones not in my scenes, they're so incredibly talented and driven and dedicated. And it's so cool to watch my friends do the incredible work they're doing.
That's excellent. And I think it's so great, because it really almost gives you that kind of repertory company sort of feel where, everybody has worked together before, and the directors know each other and know the actors, and you're not just coming into this blind is a really nice experience for everybody. So we're actually we have filmed one of the segments, one of the monologues. It's not one that you have directed, but it is one of the other pieces from the show. We filmed it and are going to show that now. So just give us a little bit of information about what we're about to see and who is performing in this one.
Yeah, so this piece is called French Fries, and it's about a woman who wants to live in a McDonald's. It is performed by Gabriela Vieira.
Excellent. Well, we're now, everyone, enjoy this excerpt of Talking With by Jane Martin.
If I had one wish in my life, why, I'd like to live in McDonald's. Right there in the restaurant. Instead of in this old place. I'll come up to the brow of the hill, bow down with my troubles hurting under my load. And I'll see that yellow horseshoe, sort of like part of a rainbow. And it gives my old spirit a lift. Lord, I can sit in McDonald's all day. I've done it too. Walked the 7 miles with the sun just on its way, and then sat on the curb till 5 minutes of 7. First one there and last to leave. Just like some old French fry they forgot. I like the young people working there. Like a team of fine young horses when I was growing up, all smiling. Tell you what I really like though is the plastic. God, he gave us plastic so there wouldn't be no stains in his world. See, in the human world, it gets all stained, scratched, tore up, faded down. Loses its shine. All of it does. In time. Well, God, he gave us the idea of plastic so we'd know what the everlasting really was. See, if there's plastic, then surely there's eternity. It's God's hint. You ever watch folks when they come on in the McDonald's? They always speed up, always run the last few steps. You see if they don't. Old Dobbin with the barn in sight. Now they know that it's safe in there. And it ain't safe outside. Now it ain't safe outside and you know it. I've seen a man healed by a Big Mac. I have. I was just sitting there. Last summer it was. Oh, they don't ever move you on. It's a sacred law at McDonald's. You can sit there for 100 years. Own the place in the world. Anyway, a fella, maybe 35, maybe 40, come on in there dressed real nice. Real bright tie, brand new baseball cap, nice white socks. And he had him that disease. You know the one I mean? Cerebral walrus, they call it. Anyway, he had him a cock leg. His poor old body had it 2 speeds at the same time. Now, he had him some coffee with the lid on it, and he sat him down, and then Jimmy, the towhead cook, knew him. See? And he brought over a Big Mac. Well, the sick fella, he ate maybe half of it, and then he was just sitting, suffering those tremors. When a couple of ants came right out of that burger. Now, there ain't no ants in McDonald's. No, sir. Lord sent those ants. And the sick fella, he looked real sharp at the burger. And then a bunch more ants marched out as nice as you please. And his head rolled over. And then he pitched himself out of that chair and banged his head on the floor. Loud. Whack. Like a bowling ball dropping. Made you half sick to hear it. We jump up and run over. But he was out cold. Well, those serving kids, so cute. They watered him, stuck a touch pepper up his nostril, slapped him right smart, and bang! Up he got. Standing and blinking. Well, how are you, we say? And he looks us over, looks us right in our eyes, and he say, I'm fine. And he was. He was fine. Tipped his Cincinnati Reds baseball cap, big, just swallowed the canary green, paraded out of there clean like a pole bean poplar. Walked him a trace line without no trace of the walrus. Got outside, jumped up, hooped, hollered, sang him the national anthem, flagged down a circle line bus, and then rode off up Muhammad Ali Boulevard, waving and smiling, just like the king of the pharaohs. Healed by Big Mac. I saw it. McDonald's. You ever see anybody die in a McDonald's? No, sir. Nobody has ever died in one. Shoot, they die in Burger Kings all the time. Kentucky Fried Chicken's got their own damn ambulances. No. You can't die in a McDonald's no matter how hard you try. It's the spices. Seals you safe in this life like it seals in the flavor. Yes. Yes. I asked Gerald, could I live in there? See, there ain't nothing going on until 7 a.m. I'd just sit And those nice swingy chairs, lean forward, rest my head on those cool, smooth tables. Sing me a hymn and sleep like a baby. Gerald, he said he'd write him a letter up the chain of command and see what they let me. Oh, I got my bid in. Peaceful and clean. Sometimes I see it like the last of the movie. You know how they start the picture up real close and then back it off steady and far? Well, that's how I dream it. I'm living in McDonald's, and it's real late at night, and you see me up close, smiling, and then you see the whole McDonald's from the outside, lit up and friendly. And I just get smaller and smaller, like they do. And then it's just a light in the darkness, like a star. And I'm in it. I'm a part of that light, part of that whole sky. And it's all McDonald's. But part of something bigger. Something fixed and shiny. Like plastic. I know. It's just a dream. Just a beacon in the storm. But you've got to have a dream. It's our dreams make us what we are.
Thank you, Gabriella, for that great work. We look forward to seeing your performance in the actual show, and but that gives you a little bit of a taste of one of the monologues from this, and just sort of how the show goes together. We obviously didn't film it in the black box because there is tech rehearsal going on all weekend, which is also why we're pre-recording this. So I do encourage everyone to check this out. It is the final performance and the final production of the Department of Theater for the semester and for the year. The play is called Talking With. It is a series of 8 monologues. It is written by Jane Martin. It is being performed live every night in the Black Box Theater this Thursday, May 6th through Saturday, May 8th. They are performances 7:30 every night, and there's also a 2 o'clock matinee on Saturday. So as always, you can get tickets on our website, pac.adelphi.edu, for one or more of the performances. It is free, as all of our student performances have been all year long. So I do encourage everyone to take a look at the great work that our students, including Carson and Gabriella and all the other folks, both in front of the camera and behind the camera on this production, are doing. Carson, anything you want to add before we move on?
Yeah, I just want to say that none of this would have been possible without all of our designers, many of whom are students, and without our stage management team.
As a stage manager by training, I appreciate always a shout out for the behind the scenes folks. They do a lot of really hard work, and especially on this, and especially in the times that we're in, and all the extra layers of safety and precautions and things that they have to deal with. It's been a real challenge for everybody, but I will say it has been great to watch everybody really rise to the occasion and continue to do great work and to show off these things. So congratulations in advance to you, Carson.
Thank you
for this, and to everyone involved. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and tell people a little more about the show that is coming up later this week.
Thank you.
And thank you again to Carson and Gabriella for taking the time to do that while they are, as I mentioned, in the midst of their tech rehearsals for the show. Now, also this week is the percussion ensemble on Wednesday, May 5th at 7:30 p.m. Now, this concert is happening live right here in the concert hall. So if you like percussion, this is one definitely not to miss. It is a great mix of compositions from a whole range of percussion composers, including a piece by some of our students and some of our student composers. So now the director of that performance and of that ensemble, Dennis Sullivan, is also the technician who is working on many of our ensemble recordings. So we have left him alone to continue his work so that we actually can bring you these concerts later this week and next week like we are planning. But please check out the percussion ensemble on Wednesday. Like I said, it is live. Tickets, as always, are on the PAC website, like everything else. And finally, on Saturday, our Adelphi Chorale and Adelphi Vocal Ensemble have their recital. Now, to tell us about that concert, we're joined by Karen Baer. Welcome, Karen.
Hi. I finally get a chance to speak.
I know. Well, you know,
it's very good.
I told you there was a lot, but until we got to you. So, you know, but here we are, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here and for telling us a little about what is coming up in the fantastic performance that you put together along with your students in both the Adelphi Chorale and the Adelphi Vocal Ensemble. Tell us about this production.
Well, thank you. And thank you for giving me the time to discuss it. It's been a challenging year for all of us, and especially putting together an ensemble of a choir, because it's one thing to sing as a soloist and have an accompanist. It's another thing to try to match all those parts together. So we've worked really hard. And this particular semester, I've really challenged the students. We've had an exciting semester. We decided that we were going to do some exuberant works that talk about the joy of singing. And so we're starting actually in chorale with a piece that is a Quaker hymn, How Can I Keep From Singing? And it really talks about all the struggles, but the importance of continuing to have that song in your heart. And from that, we go to a piece that is in Spanish, and it's about a rainy night in the Americas. It's by actually a Canadian composer, Sid Rabinovich. And then from there, we go to really what I think is going to be the highlight of our program, which is a piece that is actually in Creole. We all had to learn Creole, and we got the opportunity to meet this composer. His name is Sidney Guillaume, and I had the great fortune of hearing his music a while back, and I've always wanted to do a piece of his. So it's lively. It has percussion. In fact, Professor Larson of the percussion department in our school helped us with that, and everything. I mean, he's got all his parts lined up on our tracks, and we are doing everything a cappella. And I think it should be very joyous. I mean, it was quite an experience. Professor Guillaume came to Adelphi through the magic of the internet, and we were able to spend minutes with him. And he actually did a whole presentation on the music of Haiti. It was very, very interesting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so the students enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and it's really been the first time that I've actually seen joy in their faces as I watch them online, because it's tough. It's very tough doing rehearsals when I get my hands up to conduct and I go like this and I hear nothing. So I will finally be hearing a lot of wonderful music, I think. And
I think that's a thing to remember, is that what's been kind of fun for these concerts and the way we've had to do them is the students who are in it are also hearing it for the first time. Usually they have not heard it all put together and seen it. So everybody gets to experience that at once. So it's great.
Very true. But we do have to thank our engineer, Rob Carroll, because he actually has been working with us on this program that we were able to get called Soundtrap. And so for the first time this semester, not last, we actually can hear what we sound like. We're not balanced, but we can hear a little bit more than what we could do before. So it's almost like singing together.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
Actually, as Professor Heisel said before, I feel like I'm copying her. Professor Bokiran is going to end that segment of the program with a piece that he wrote for us, that he arranged for us, I should say. It was written before, called This We Pray. So that's the chorale portion of the program. The vocal ensemble is a little bit more eclectic. And basically we're doing a little bit of Broadway. We're starting with Ueli, which is the marching theme from Frozen. And that's all. And the vocal ensemble does mostly a cappella.
Right.
But this particular semester, we've brought back one of our graduates, Skyla Budd, who I think you will be featuring in a little bit. And she is playing harp for us for 2 pieces by Gustav Holst from a very interesting set of music called the Rig Veda. Holst was very interested in Sanskrit, and he wrote these pieces, and they are only with the harp. They're absolutely beautiful. Hymn of the Dawn and Hymn of the Waters. And from there we go to Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence. And we end with Feeling Good from Roar the Grease Paint, Smell of the Crowd. One of my favorites from back when I was a teenager and saw Anthony Newley. So that's basically our program. I hope everybody can make it. We really need our audiences. Yeah.
No, and I think that's fantastic. And again, that is coming up this Saturday. So that is the Adelphi Chorale and the Adelphi Vocal Ensemble put together into one program. Saturday, May 8th. This is at 8 p.m. Online, as everything is for now. We're getting closer every day. Yeah. And again, free of charge, but you do need to register for access in advance. So you can do that on our website at pac.adelphi.edu, as with all of our other programming. So again, that is both the chorale and the vocal ensemble, Saturday, 8 p.m. Thank you again, Karen, so much for taking the time to be here and to talk about that. We have one more piece of music to share at the end, but we're wrapping things up. So be sure to check out all the great performances coming this week. Thank you all for being here for our 50th episode celebration. We are looking forward to seeing you again next week. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, get vaccinated, get both of your shots so that we can all be back here in the concert hall, in the Olmsted Theater, together in the fall. Now, to close us out, Karen, you mentioned that you have a harp accompanist for a number of the pieces in the program, who happens to be an alum, Skyla Budd, who also happens to be someone who has been on the show a couple times. She was on with her group, as well as she did some stuff for our holiday show. So we reached out to her to give us something to use to close out the show tonight. And she sent us a lovely performance. So we're going to use this to close out. But before we go, Karen, anything else from you?
You know what? I just want to say thank you to my students, because it's been a tough year and I'm really proud of the work that they've done. It was a struggle at times, but they really, I think everybody will really enjoy this program. So
absolutely. I think it's been it's been really great to see how everybody has risen to the occasion and dealt with, obviously the far from ideal circumstances to kind of make it work. And I think, we've seen a lot of that this semester and like you said, particularly for something like a chorus that, really is about being in a room together and singing in each other's faces, which is at the bottom of the list of things to be able to do again. So
a little bit.
Yeah, I know, right? It's getting better every day. So
And Blythe, thank you. Thank you very much for doing this.
Of course. It's been my pleasure. And with that, please enjoy this performance from Skyla Budd, and I will see everyone again next week. Oh, all right. I've got one more button to push. So close.